I am not a financial advisor. These videos are all meant for educational purposes only. All complete Trader Academy videos are my personal opinion and perspective. Trading carries a high level of risk, and all results are your own responsibility. Please always demo first. Hey everybody, welcome back to CTA's Daily Review. Today is November 14, Tuesday, 2023. So we had this big bullish day here. CPI news pushed it up. Didn't even give a big retracement. Kind of bought from where it was. Took out some of Asia's lows and shot up. Now, it did attack this high right here that I had already mentioned. So if you watch yesterday's video, so this makes sense, you'll see that I was mentioning that we'll shoot up, attack that high. And then I also forgot to mention a couple things in the video, which is these purple gaps. I've already had it highlighted yesterday, but I did some research the day before, and it was these gaps are literally no trading activity inside them. So possibly that we'll be reaching for that too. Well, I put it here for us, clearing out liquidity and then sort of retracing back. We didn't get the retracement, but we did get the movement up here. And again, we took out this high and we took out this high right here, and a little bit higher. We have that little gap right there. You can barely see it right here, but I'll show you in a second. And then got into an up candle right here on the 4-hour, which is where I took the trade for just a brief sell. So I was not involved in today, and I was also mentioning that it would be a little bit difficult to get up through this, but CPI will do it. So all this resistance, again, watch yesterday's video so it makes sense. We pushed right through that shit. So that was obviously their intention here. It has nothing to do with buyers and sellers. Otherwise, we would have, sort of hit a wall or hit a ceiling, I should say. But you'll see here, let me go back to the 4-hour. You'll see right here that we took out that liquidity right here. Let me just delete that. And then we took out that liquidity from September 1st. And then closely, if I look in here, if I show you here, you'll see a gap here. Right there, that gap right there, right? So today we literally open up 3 4-hour candles, then 8:30 shoots it down right to the opening gap, a little bit below, wipes out the low for the opening low of the day, and then shoots the hell up, goes right through these gaps, hits that high right there that we got highlighted, and then up to where I was looking for it to not necessarily reverse, but catch a retracement, because when it's CPI, listen, we used to catch these all the time, right? And today I decided not to trade at all until the smoke cleared, well above the smoke clearing. So literally when 8:30 comes, I'm still sleeping. I slept on purpose just so I wouldn't even be involved. No 9:30. I don't give a fuck what 10 o'clock does. Literally, I'm waiting for the manipulation to kind of take me to a more key level, which is what was important. And then besides this gap and us taking this out, what do we have to the left of the chart? Well, the daily wasn't going to be that helpful for me, but the 4-hour was, and I like this big up candle. See this up candle right here closed under it's underneath that gap, but you see this big bullish candle right here, and then it breaks down. Well, here I'd like to see some sensitivity at that level, so I got it dragged out, okay, and that's where the 4-hour went to. The 10 o'clock candle came up to, and then I took a trade from there. So let me go into a smaller time frame so now you understand the context of it. So pretty much here you'll see we open up here, little gap, and I had this liquidity shown. I'm surprised they didn't grab that, but they didn't need to. Their goal was to just take out the actual day's low. So not yesterday, but today, which is very minute. I'm sure you had some Asia people grab these buys as its higher highs, higher lows, comes above here, takes out that high right there. And I got this, if you remember yesterday's video, so watch it so it makes sense. This liquidity level right here, we come up here, in London, and we don't take out that high. So then we retrace back. Well, we retrace back, and then boom, slammed with that 830, and then wipes out all of Asia right there, right? But leaves that low right there. So these are just higher lows protected, right? But I would have assumed that they would have took that. I think Dow was taken. Where are you? See, Dow even takes out that low right there. Not really relative to those though, but so they were protected pretty much. But anyways, what was I saying? So yeah, so 830 shoots it down. That's why I'm not involved because, and yes, could you have had a limit order here? You probably wouldn't have got filled anyway, right? If you seeing strength, this CPI lasted literally 2 seconds, but in 2 seconds, I believe the price was already up here, literally. I mean, if you do if I go on a 1 second chart right here, literally a 1 second chart, which I never show 1 second charts, but I want to save myself time, but I just want to show you this because there's a gap there, and private price is definitely coming back down there. But look at this right here. If I zoom in here, and this is a 1 second chart, just a 1 second chart. So this candle right here shoots down, and in 1 second, this candle is done. There's a gap here, which I'm going to highlight right now, since you're here. And I'm going to put this as a gap. And then let me just make this shit really dark. All right. So, and then the next candle, which is the next second. Let me see here. It's a 1 second chart, right? Oh wow. So they don't even compass. So this is a total of 6 seconds, actually. That's interesting how they that's 8:30 and 1 second. Okay, done. And there's a gap. And then this is 8:30 and 6 seconds. Close. So what happened to 5 fucking seconds? Yeah, bullshit. But anyways, the point of what I'm sharing with you is that these are just literally in 6 seconds, right? So if you're able to push buy at any time here, we used to momentum trade all the time like that. But I don't want to do that, and I don't need to do that. So you're not missing out on anything. Meaning, the reason why I'm saying that I slept in is because I don't want to be a part of this. I don't need to be a part of this. Not on a CPI on an 8:30 a.m. on a Tuesday. It's just, even though we know where the direction is going, let me get back to a normal time frame. You could have got in on some of these lower highs here, because the reason why you could have is because it is common to where it wants to reach a key level on a higher time frame above the marketplace. Then you'll notice that this becomes like a bull flag. I've seen so many bull runs that this little bird will just fly, right? Meaning it just keeps going. You don't see retracements and all that. You're constantly trying to sell it. And you're not getting the retracement you want to come back into this imbalance. And then you have to be aware of that, right? So that's the reason why I don't want to fuck with it. But I will wait for it to get to us, specific levels and certain ideas, and wait for it to have created some like liquidity for it to get taken out. So in this case, I do catch this trade here, which is, let me try to zoom in on this right here. See if I can. So I'm not playing with any of this. 930 is now here, and then the price is playing around, makes a higher high and higher lows, going up, gets to that target, right? I'm not interested in selling this because I know that they are on an agenda. They are literally pushing the price up to get up to these areas here, which again, I forgot to mention about this gap, and I fucking had it drawn, but I forgot to mention it. And that would have made my conversation a little bit different yesterday because of the fact that I'm going to keep saying that we're bullish until there's a body closed in that gap. We also have one right there, but it's not as serious. But there is two right there. But this one right here is my minimum area of it going up. Minimum. So that would have, again, changed my conversation here. So that being said, I'm not looking for counter trend trades, but I'm looking for one good trade, and I was going to be done since I started my day late. Here we go. Higher high, higher low. So higher high, higher low, higher high, higher low, higher high, higher low. Okay. Higher high, higher low, higher high. So this right here is considered as a higher low for me because it does make a high with that low. Then it breaks right here. So this just breaks for a retracement. This doesn't break for good. This is just, you need a bigger displacement for that. But this was a break here. So very patient here. So you get this higher low, you get this higher low. If you were trying to catch some of this, if you were confident in being a buyer, you could have won well, right? Obviously coming into these down blocks, all holding. And then here though, I'm waiting for something different. Price now gets to that 4-hour up candle right here. So I'm looking at it as a supply area. I'm not interested in really trading to begin with, but I am following the market after 10:30. So that being the case, then the price gets right to this up candle on the 4-hour that I just showed you right there. You can't barely see it. See that candle? All right, and then we're hitting it. All right, we raid the liquidity above. We break below. Here's your shift, temporary shift. Retraces back into, let me zoom in for you a little bit so I can be done here. In that 1 minute imbalance plus that up candle right here. So breaks, retraces back. If you expect an imbalance to hold, you want to couple it with a up candle. If in the case of being bearish, a supply block, you want to see that price get protected and price not go above that block. So we have an imbalance plus the block. Sure enough, when the price comes in, then it tags the open of that block, which is the most sensitive area on this block, in my opinion, in general, right? So pokes above and it starts to sink down. I automatically, with this imbalance, I automatically push the button. I get filled right here. Now, could I have used a limit order and made this simple and had a better entry? Yes. When the price comes down and it starts coming down, I'm entered. My stop loss is now above this candle, or necessarily above the imbalance, the second candle of the imbalance, which is that level right there. So if I move this over, you'll be able to see it right there. See that high right there? And that's a little too tight because you would generally want to put it right above that high right here of the first candle, right? Or necessarily even here too. But for this trade, and I've already outlined liquidity, I'm going for that route of risk management. Anyways, so that being said, let me show you the trade, and you'll see it here as I get filled right there at 889 and a half with that imbalance. Plus I have that open shown. My target is coming down here. So patience brings the price down, takes out that liquidity. Now I had this marked and I knew this would get filled. Would get rated, but maybe it wasn't going to get rated. So I screenshot it here to show you that what I need to show you a 10-minute chart because you won't see it here. A 10-minute chart made me get out, and I'll show you why. Because when the price was here, it was sitting at some support level on a 10-minute wick, and I was like, nah, they might dangle this carrot and just shoot it up, because I do understand that the top side is still probably not over, right? But I'm glad I made the right decision. And sure enough, as you see, we retrace back up, which I'll go back to the next chart. That's all I wanted. I did not want any more than that, and I had to keep it safe. So here, as you see, let me go to a 10-minute so you can see this. And all these different time frames will show you things that you won't see on other time frames. So, you know, sometimes it's a little bit of luck in the sense about what time frame were you married to, but right here, this wick right here, if I highlight this, oh shit. This wick right here at 50%, you can see the bodies respecting right here. And then that gave me the sign of saying, you know what, take the profit out. What did it do? Let me go back to a 1 minute. What did it ended up doing after that? Let me get rid of this. Ended up retracing back into that imbalance right there on the 1 minute that it created, right there. Came up and then rated it one more time and stayed inside that imbalance top candle, which it didn't break the high, but it did break. So here's an example of where you want to keep it a little bit above more if you kept your stop loss. Like for the example I just told you on this on the second candle of the imbalance, the high, I usually put my stop losses above there, because if it's going above there more, then I don't want to really be in the trading. It's most likely not going to pan out. But here's a case right here where you needed to put a little bit above and it still would have panned out. So for example, that would mean, let's just say you got in here, and then that was this, and then that's normally where I'd keep it. But if, let's just say you decided to go a little higher, in this case I'll use like, you know, half of that up candle. I'm going to drag this out, drag it over. You'll see how it barely taps. So recognizing that this imbalance is there, I'm gonna move this. It's fucking annoying. See this level right here? I'll put, just drag it out. See how it taps right above it? That's pretty sneaky on their part. That's what they're doing. But it doesn't hit the open of this candle either. See that? So, you know, if that was an entry limit order that you had, you missed it, right? So one of the reasons why I do manual trades more is because I want to be in control of what I'm thinking of what's going on. But anyways, that's subjective. But as you see here, we rated and then we came down to then take out that low that I had. So, you know, so this was a buy, sell, buy, right? Because we do, so look at this. So buy, sell, buy, right? So 3 elements of a sequence in a bull day. With the sell, you do obviously get some manipulation drives down. So you're getting pretty much getting 2 drives down in this. So this is drive 1, retracement. Drive 2, finale. That's the leg of that retracement. So understand how flow works, and that'll help you out. When you're down here, I'm not trading after this though. I'm definitely not involved, but you could have caught after rating this liquidity, right? This was probably the same level. This tags it by a hair underneath, takes out that low, right? You see this, right? And then right here, look at this shit. Well, not easy, but price doesn't come back into that candle, but you wait for a new shift, which is above that high, or a new order flow of higher high retracing back into this candle. So this candle wasn't helpful, right? But you have these 3 down candles. Price does go in it, right? This up candle holds as support. Notice if you drag this whole candle out, this price action will be staying. All right, so this is what we call a support block right here. See how it stayed? I want to be done here. See how the price stayed inside that block? 50% of it, damn near, pretty much. But the other confluence was this down candle right here. Prices dip back into it above the open and below the wick. So it stays in there. And then you get your order flow going up. Your target here would have been minimum here, here or here, and then, you know, finale here, technically. So, hope that makes all sense. And yeah, pretty dope. And then what's funny is this imbalance, you drag it out, take a look. Uses it as support right there. See that? Funny how this motherfucker works. But anyways, yeah, shoots up, and then let me go back to a 5-minute. And what I wanted to say. Again, being nimble, you know, and let's go to Dow real quick. And you can see dollar as well. Where's dollar? You can see dollar. If you were watching the videos that I've been making, I've been mentioning this as an option. If you remember about dollar, I said either we're going to come up, you know, and get to that gap or above these highs, or we're going to lower low, lower highs, you know, bearish structure. So this ended up being lower low, lower high structure. You see that? So this, when we broke here, we retraced and we kind of stalled out right there, right? Using that as resistance right there, this candle, these candles right here, and resistance, and shot the price down heavy with CPI. So, and if you recall, I was mentioning that we would possibly visit this area or this area to possibly bounce from, or to sell from, or to sell to into. And sure enough, we're in here. So, yeah, not looking good for dollar. And, you know, unless we do get a bounce. But then again, remember the fourth quarter. So I've been mentioning this for a minute, but the fourth quarter is panning out, right? They're looking for that bullish movement. They're wiping out all the sellers. This is Dow right here. You can see that I had that weekly imbalance in the pink, and then the daily imbalance in the purple lines. We ran right through it. So, you know, specific targets. What's above that? You have the gap that I already have on the chart. If you have it on your chart, great. If you don't, then how would you know? You know, this area is like a place, or is a key area, right? Well, if you didn't have that, you do have this last up candle right there. See that? See that up candle, this candle on September 20th? So we had that up candle that we rushed right to. And what do we have next up here? Well, on the fib, we do have the 70 level. And we do have that high that we're probably going to take out, this high right here on September 20. So let's do that. If it does, I don't know if it's going to, but it's going to keep going up. That's definitely a next target. And what's right above that target is we have that imbalance right there on the 4 hours. See that? Well, let me look at the daily. See, the weekly is all sealed up now. So let's look at the daily. The daily's all sealed up right here too. But look at that right there, which is much higher than this price action that I'm showing you on the 4 hour. And hey, just, I mean, like I said, I was mentioning that shit even, I think, when we were coming down from there. But on the daily, you'll see here that there's a little imbalance right here. And that's why these videos are long, is because if I'm going to explain in thoroughness, I have to explain it. I'm just going to do that. It's the same thing as these red lines, but I'm not trying to have these red lines on that daily. It's too tight. But so what's right above that? Well, I'm just sorry. What's right below that daily imbalance are these highs right here. So I don't know. This is going to be the good question of dangling the carrot right here. But when could this happen? Well, the fourth quarter could do that. You know what I mean? Like if there was any time that it could happen, the fourth quarter would do it. So let's just put this right here. I'm just going to put this as liquidity. All right, we have that. We have this high. We have that imbalance in between. Oh, what's funny is I already drew it. See that little space between right there? I've already got it outlined. That's funny. Because I remember that it didn't seal it there. But we have that. These are key levels. I'm just showing you above here. I'm not saying all this is going to happen, but these are all key areas. So, you involve your trading around that, because obviously we have the up candle here that we're in right now. I'm not going to draw a line. Then we have that high. So does it break? Does it break this high and above? If it breaks above this high, I'm assuming it's going to go above here, just to wipe that out. And there was a fucking gap. I remember, yeah, right there. There was a gap up in here when we sold in August. But the difference between August 1st and August 2nd gap. So I don't know. Are they gonna push it up all the way up? I don't know. But right now we're bullish. There's no question of that. You can see here when we opened up, they shot the price down, wiped out Asia, shot the hell up, came right to that daily imbalance high, kind of played around a little bit, used it as support. Look at that. See that? It's not random. Then the price shoots up to this gap right here, then retraces, bounces off that weekly imbalance, and consolidated and shook out pretty much. So yeah. And as you see, this price right here, this high, this low, that gets protected. I call this a control level, meaning control structure, meaning like higher high, higher low. Watch this. Then it's a higher high, then it's a higher low, but it never breaks that low. It doesn't get into this imbalance. So then, price rushes up for a high here, then it stops, then it retraces back for the higher low. So not that low, but that higher low. See that? But there's two drives in this retracement. Then that's the new higher high. And then as of now, that's a higher low. If the price breaks below and stays above here, then it's retracing to make the real higher low. So we don't know if that internal higher low is going to stay and it's going to shoot up or not. But I don't know. Liquidity is getting built right there, and should be interesting. So as far as as far as this week goes, I'm not even really interested in trading for the rest of the year, actually. So I'm gonna be dialing back majorly, and I've had so much wedding stuff to do today with the haul and all this other stuff, and then I go on my honeymoon, and then I just won't be really worried about working until about February. So I'll see if I keep doing the videos. I'll do my best, but I know definitely I won't be doing the videos between December 8th and December 20th at the minimum. I mean, there will be no videos then. But yeah, so tomorrow, listen, that gap right there with we rushed that high. We have that gap right there. I would like to see price come and hit that gap. If not, okay, so let me just make this simple. What I'd like to see is something like this. And then come back down. Oh shit. I'd like to see them just do this and then come back down. Heavy. All right. That's assuming also dollar is in play, and dollar is shooting down a little bit lower. Damn, man, how long is this video? That's assuming that dollar does something like this, right? So that's that scenario right there with us. Just playing it by ear. Or we don't even make it. We just literally are starting to sell very soon. Right? And that would also obviously mean dollar to do the same, All right, so I hope this helps you guys. Take care. Until tomorrow, God bless.